And just find a comfortable cross-legged position. And you can either, yeah, or sit in Virasana with your legs underneath you, that's fine, with a block underneath or not. And just roll your shoulders back. You can take your hands behind you and just lift the chest. Come forward a little bit on the sit bones, you sitting nice and tall. And you can just take your hands gently to your knees. And a quick announcement just before we start. I'm going to be away for the next 3 Thursdays. So the good news is that Mia is back, who is wonderful, who was here and then studying somewhere, South America or something. And so she's back and she'll teach the next one. And then Star, who used to do the Friday night spa class, will be here for the next 2 Thursdays after that. And then I'll be back. Just so you know. And so that's the plan. And hopefully Lorraine will put it on the schedule. So, okay, shoulders back. Go ahead and close your eyes. And just start with a deep breath. And a nice, long, slow exhale. Making our way to our inner space, our sense of inner observation and awareness. Using the breath to get there. Just notice the breath coming through the nostrils. Notice the movement on the inhale and the gentle sense of relaxation and release on the exhale. Relaxing through the face and the jaw. And go ahead and open your eyes. And let's start with hands, palms together at the heart. And we'll just lift the palms straight up, bring the elbows together, feel a stretch across the back. Inhale and then exhale as you separate the elbows and let the arms float down, connecting up to the breath. And again, inhale as you come up. And exhale, let the arms float down. Again, inhale up. Feel it stretch across the back. And then opening up and exhale, feel the shoulder blades descend as your arms come down. Good. Let's take a block just between your arms and just take the block straight out in front of you. Would you like a block? Okay. Go ahead and gently pressing against the block and then moving it forward so you separate the shoulder blades. Inhale and then exhale, bring the shoulder blades together. So keep this sense of the arms being long, but you're bringing the shoulder blades together so you feel them really tucked in your back. So that's the feeling we want when we're doing any kind of side planks or regular planks, to really pull those shoulder blades back so they're seated. So we're using those strong muscles of the back when we're doing any kind of push-ups or chaturanga. So once again, push it out, keep pushing, keep pressure on the block, and then again, bring the shoulder blades together. From here, let's inhale the block up and just take it overhead, reaching through the fingertips, keeping a little bit of pressure on that block. Feel the stretch through the front body. Inhale, and then exhale, we'll just come forward and take the block to the floor. You can take your hands on top of the block for your forward fold, reaching long through the front body as well as the back body, keeping the sit bones on the mat. Maybe tuck the chin slightly so you get a nice stretch through the back of the neck. And then walk the hands back up. And we'll just take the block to the side and take one arm out to the side. We'll lift the other arm overhead for a side bend. See if you can straighten that arm, and rather than bending so much, think of it as lifting and lengthening. Opening up that top shoulder. Dropping that lower shoulder away from your ear, reaching through the fingertips. And inhale to come back up. And we'll take it to the other side, slide that arm up, and take the other arm up. Feel that opposite hip rooting down, finding length, opening up that top shoulder. And inhale to come back up. Let's do one more. Take the arms straight up. So this time without the block, but think of that same engagement of the arm muscles. So you're lengthening, reaching through the fingertips. Abdominals are engaged. We'll inhale and take it to a twist, moving towards your left. And then that left arm comes down behind you. Right arm is to the outside of the left knee, sitting nice and tall. Slight bend in the elbows to allow the shoulders to drop away from the ears. And then we'll come back to center. Again, let's take the arms up and we'll take it to the other side. Start your twist and then lower the arms. Again, sitting nice and tall on the inhale. Exhale, maybe use that hand against the knee for a little extra traction. And come back to center. Good. Okay, Mary's going to get her wish and we're going to stand up now. And I'm even going to be brave and take the socks off. Okay, let's come to a standing position. Have your strap close by and your block. So we're going to take the block right between the knees. Just above the knees, in between the thighs. And then pick up your strap. So right away, standing, holding the block, we've got a little bit of engagement of the quadriceps are nice and strong, dropping the shoulders, and a little engagement of the abdominals, pulling the navel in. So when we're working with a navel engaged, when you breathe, try to get that sense of expanding through the rib cage all the way around. So even though your abdominal muscles are going to move a little bit, but we're trying to keep them engaged so that we're holding the navel against the spine. And then as you breathe in, feel that expansion through the rib cage and the chest. So we'll start with a wide grip on the strap. We'll do some shoulder openers to start. So from here, the wider, the easier it is. So start with a nice wide grip. You're pulling the arms apart, and we'll inhale the arms up. And then exhale slowly. Take the arms back as much as you can, keeping the arms straight. If they start to bend, see if you can separate them a little bit more. Feel the shoulder blades come together. Then inhale the arms up. And exhale, bring it down. Let's do that again. Inhale the arms up. Pulling apart on the strap and very slowly. That's an intense shoulder opener. Feel that stretch across the pectorals and the shoulder blades come together. Inhale up and exhale down. If you're starting to warm up and you feel that's too easy, you can move your arms in, maybe one fist distance closer. Again, inhale the arms up. Maintaining that engagement of the abdominals and exhale down. And inhale up and take it down. Good. Let's move the hands a little closer together, maybe a little bit wider than shoulder distance. And again, we'll inhale the arms up. And then we'll just take it to a side bend to the left, still pulling apart on the strap. Pushing the hips to the side so you get that stretch all along the side body. Keep that top shoulder back. Inhale, take it back up. And again, we'll take it to the other side. Inhale and exhale. that stretch from the outside of that left foot all the way to the fingertips and come back up. Good. And this time let's take it, if you can either double it up or just hold it about shoulder distance apart. From here, we'll take it to a chair pose. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see on Zoom also. So we're holding it about shoulder distance apart. So from here, we're going to sit down in our chair by bringing the hips back. The arms will come up. And then you want to have the knees over the ankles. So the weight is a little bit more toward the heels. Neck is neutral, maybe tuck the chin just a little bit, still pulling apart on that strap. And then nice strong engagement of the abdominals, pelvic floor muscles. The inner thighs working against the block. So everything is working here, keeping the face relaxed. Inhale. Exhale, we'll forward fold, bring the hands to the knees and just let the elbows come out to the side. Releasing the back. You can shake the head, yes and no. And let's do that again. So slowly coming up into your chair, pulling apart on the strap, pressing into the block. Shoulders are descending, shoulder blades. Shoulders away from the ears. Nice long straight spine. And we'll let that go. Come back to your forward fold. Inhale and exhale. And take the block out and still have it close by at the top of your mat. Keep the strap close by. And we'll come down to our knees facing forward. So you can keep the toes tucked, abdominals nice and strong. Make sure you have extra padding. That looks great for your knees. And we'll take take your left leg out to the side. So your toes are facing forward, and you can take your hands to your hips, and we'll just start slowly bringing the hips back as we bring the chest down, and then you can walk your hands forward so we get a forward bend, forward fold, walking the fingertips forward and pressing the sole of the foot to the mat so you get a nice stretch on the inside of the extended leg, inner thigh. And then go ahead and walk your fingers toward that foot. So now you're at a diagonal. And then think of moving the fingers and the hips in the opposite direction. So you get a nice stretch in the right side body. People on Zoom, if you're following me, you're on the same side, left side body. And then take it back to center. And then we'll walk the hands in. Take the arms up. And we'll just come down onto your hand and we'll just do a little stretch here. Take that top arm over, reaching through the fingertips, pressing into the sole of the extended leg. Inhale to come up using the strong muscles of the abdominals. And then keeping the hands apart, we'll just come into a modified triangle. So both hands are moving away from each other. You can take your bottom hand to your shin. Reaching the hands apart, keeping the hips tucked forward so they're not sliding back. You want to keep the hips in line with the shoulders. You can take that top arm overhead. Feel that stretch through the side body, top shoulders back. Inhale to come back up. And one more, we'll take the hand back to the mat. This time, let's go ahead and lift that extended leg, pressing through the heel, toes facing forward, opening up the chest. Abdominal strong option here to hold on to that ankle and bind. Open the chest, stretching through the quadricep, the hip flexor, and then we'll re-extend And drop that foot and inhale, bring the arms up. Okay, let's bring the knees together. And from here, we'll just take it back with the toes tucked, a little stretch through the arms, a little child's pose with the toes tucked, and then walk it back up. And this time we'll extend the other leg out so the toes are facing forward to start. Again, we'll start to bring the chest down, walk the hands forward, hips back. Find that stretch of the side body, pulling the navel to spine, pressing the sole of the foot to the mat, and then walk the hands toward that foot so you're at a diagonal, and then pull the hips back in the opposite direction from the fingertips as your fingertips walk forward. So if you notice a little extra stretch in the inner thigh, and take it back to center. And then you can walk your hands in, take the arms up. Inhale, exhale, take the arm down. Full body stretch from fingertips to the outer edge of the extended foot. And take it back up. And we'll go right into our modified triangle. So you can also point the toes out to the side if that works for you. Either way is fine. Separating the arms. And then go ahead and take that top arm overhead, reaching through the fingertips, roll that shoulder back as the hips come forward. And take it back up. And one more time, take that hand down. This time we'll use the strong muscles of the abdominals to lift that leg. Pressing through the heel, option to bind. Feel that stretch through that hip crease, quadricep, and roll that top shoulder back. We'll re-extend and take the leg down and inhale to come back up. Good. Bring that knee in, and we'll just come to all fours here. And just walk the arms out, and you can bring your elbows to the mat. Then go ahead and bring the hands together in prayer pose. And palms can be out, or you can separate the palms with the fingertips together. Feel that stretch across in between the shoulder blades, the middle back. Let the chest drop toward the mat. Inhale and exhale. And then you can bring your hands back to the mat. So we'll come to all fours. And from here, we'll just do a couple cat-cows. So bring the shoulders away from the ears. Start with the abdominals engaged, and we'll start with a cow by dropping the belly, lifting the tailbone, lift the chin. Inhale, exhale, pushing away, rounding. Drop the tailbone, drop the top of the head. Pushing away from the mat as you draw the abdominals up. And inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And we'll exhale. And come back to neutral. And go ahead and walk the hands forward about 1 palm length. Tuck the toes. Use the abdominals to bring your hips up into your first downward dog. And go ahead and pedal the feet. So you can bend, alternately bend one knee, then the other. Feel that stretch in the back of the leg. Fingers are spread nice and wide, pressing through the fingertips. Heel of the fingers, heel of the hand. Roll the inner elbows toward each other. And then go ahead and bend the knees, lift the hips nice and high. Feel that stretch from the fingertips to the sit bones. Core is engaged. And then go ahead and just turn the head side to side, relaxing the neck, the face, and the jaw. Go ahead and lower the heels toward the mat. And then we'll come up high on both lifting both heels. So you're on the balls of the feet, bend the knees, and we'll just walk it forward to a forward fold. Relax the head and the shoulders. Maybe have a slight bend in the knees, or you can straighten one knee at a time. Again, alternating, bending one knee and then the other. Your feet are about hip distance apart. Really let the head go. Shoulders are hanging there, either on the mat or a block, or you can even take your fingers to the elbows. And then go ahead and take your hands back to the mat, deeply bend the knees, and we'll just roll up nice and slowly, using the abdominal muscles to stack the vertebra one on top of the other. So take your time so you feel the stretch first in the lower back, feeling it move up to the middle back. And just allow your shoulders to drop into place as the head comes up, standing nice and tall. Pressing through the bottoms of your feet so your weight is equally distributed. Your feet are about hip distance apart. Inhale the arms up. And then we'll exhale, opening to a twist toward your left or right, or it doesn't matter. Either way. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, take your twist in the other direction, reaching through the fingertips. Inhale the arms up. Let's do that one more time. Opening up, hips stay forward. Inhale the arms up. And exhale in the other direction. And take it back up. Inhale, exhale. Let's bring the hands together at the heart. Standing nice and tall. From here, we're going to come back into our chair pose, this time without the blocks and the strap. So from here, we'll take the arms up, bring the hips back, abdominals engaged, quads are working. Your weight is in the heels, reaching through the fingertips. Inhale, and then exhale, we'll bring the hands together at the heart. We've been doing this a lot lately. We're going to take the weight into the right foot and just lift the left heel. So now you're on the left ball of the foot. Weight is mostly on the right foot. And then if you like, you can just very slightly lift that left foot off the mat, balancing your weight over that supporting leg, abdominals strong. And then replace that left foot down. Same thing on the other side. So start by just lifting the heel. The ball of the right foot is on the mat. Inhale, exhale, keep the abdominals strong, keeping the face relaxed. And then start to lift that right foot just slightly off the mat, using the strength of the abdominals. Feel that weight balanced over the supporting leg. And then go ahead and replace that foot. Let's come all the way down back to your forward fold. Inhale and exhale, maybe straighten the legs. And then bend the knees any amount so you can bring your hands to the flat to the mat and step the right leg way back. Then you can take your blocks on either side of that front foot. Your right leg is back, and we'll just rock a little bit here. You're trying to keep that left knee over the left ankle. Just rock a little bit, starting to open up that right hip flexor. Then we'll go ahead and lower that back knee, untuck the toe. We'll bring the hands to the knee. Glutes are engaged, abdominals engaged, supporting the lower back, and maybe let the hips drop a little bit more toward the mat. Take the arms up. Drop the shoulders and use the press of that back shin against the mat to really press down and then reach the fingertips up, shoulder blades together, trying to relax the neck as much as you can. Inhale, exhale, we'll bring the arms down and just move the block slightly out to the side. And then we'll tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. From here, we're going to come right up to our crescent lunge. So very slowly, using the press of the feet into the mat and the strength of the abdominals to bring you up. You can have a slight bend in that back knee. So you're tucking, there's a slight tuck, so you get that sense of lengthening the lower back. If you can maintain that, you can start to straighten the back leg. Inhale, exhale, let's bring the arms down to either side of that front foot. Leave the left hand down, and then we'll open up to a twist to the other side. Pressing through the ball of that back foot so that heel doesn't wobble to one side or the other. Lengthening through the spine. And then bring that arm down. Let's come back to our crescent lunge, arms up. Find your balance here by working those abdominals, using the press of the feet into the mat. We're going to open up into a vertical twist toward that front leg. So inhale and exhale, opening up. Bring that top shoulder back. Inhale, come back to your crescent lunge. And then exhale, vertical twist. Inhale, come up. From here, let's bring the hands back to either side of that front foot and just step that back foot up to meet the front and just come back to your forward fold, shake it out a little bit. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So from here, this time we'll step the left foot way back. You can come up on the hands on the block, start to rock a little bit so you're opening up the hip crease on the left. And when you're ready, slowly drop that back knee, untuck the toe. Start to engage through the hips and the abdominals. We'll take the arms up, reaching through the fingertips, pressing through that back shin as you reach the fingertips toward the sky. See if you can relax the neck. Sometimes I feel a lot of tension going to the neck there. So maybe your chin can be slightly tucked, or you can be lifting a little bit more skyward. Inhale. Exhale, we'll bring the hands down, tuck the toes, lift the back leg. Take your time finding your balance by pressing into that front foot, the ball of the back foot, strong through the abdominals, and take the arms up. So now we're in a crescent lunge. Feel free to adjust the distance widthwise between the feet or lengthwise. Inhale. Exhale, we'll bring the hands back down. Leave the left hand, we'll lift the right and come into our twist. Pressing into the ball of the back foot to keep that heel aligned over the ankle. Lengthen through the spine. Inhale, exhale, bring it back down. We're going to come back up to our crescent lunge, pressing into the feet. Staying nice and strong, drop the shoulders. Inhale, and then we'll exhale into our vertical twist, opening toward that front leg. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, open. And inhale, come back up. And then inhale, exhale, we'll bring the hands back to either side of that front foot. This time, bring the front foot back to meet the back foot, so we end up in a plank. Shoulders away from the ears, abdominal strong. And with your knees up or your knees down, tuck your elbows in toward the rib cage, untuck the toes, and we'll slowly lower all the way to the mat. Keep your hands under the shoulders, pressing the legs into the mat, pubic bone into the mat. We're going to come up to a baby cobra, using the strong muscles of the upper back, lifting with the back, the head follows. And exhale, lower down. Come back onto your knees. And let's come back to a child's pose. You can separate the knees or keep them together. And then just take a moment here. Inhale and exhale, relaxing the lower back. And then we'll come back to hands and knees, retuck the toes, and come back to your downward dog. Take a moment there. Abdominal strong. Pressing the heels into the mat. And then again, bend the knees and walk forward. So we're back in our forward fold. And bend the knees enough so you can place the palms on the mat. We'll again step the right foot back, this time not quite as far. We're going to come into warrior one. So you want to make sure that back heel this time is on the mat. So the front foot is on the mat, back foot is on the mat. And we'll take the blocks on either side of that front foot and then straighten both legs. So we're in a pyramid pose. Flat back, abdominals are engaged. And then see if you can draw that front hip back. So the hips are both square to the front. And then you may here also want to adjust so your feet are about hip width apart still. And then whatever adjustment you need to the distance front and back so you can keep that back foot on the mat. And then inhale and exhale, let your head drop any amount so you get that stretch in the back of that front leg. And then we'll come back to a flat back. Start to bend into that front knee. And then we're going to bring the arms up so we end up in our warrior one. And again, feel free to make any adjustments to the distance, either lengthwise or widthwise, and see if you can drop into that front knee. Again, you can take your hands to your hips. You want to keep the hips forward, pressing into that back foot. Arms come up. Inhale and exhale. Drop the shoulders, open the chest. And then we'll bring the hands back to the blocks and take them to the highest position. We'll walk them forward and then we'll lift that back leg. So we're coming into a supported warrior three. So again, the hips are square. So we're taking out the balancing parts. You can really get that sense of squaring off the hips, pressing into that heel, abdominal strong, and lengthening through the back of the neck. Inhale, exhale, press through that heel, straighten that supporting leg. And then we'll bring that front foot to meet the back foot to meet the front foot. So we're back in our forward fold and relax. Okay. Again, bend the knees, take the hands flat to the mat. This time we'll send the left leg way back. Actually, not way back, but just back enough so you can press the heel down to the mat. And then you can take the hands on the blocks, straightening both legs. Nice flat back, abdominals engaged, drawing that shoulders away from the ears. Again, the feet can be about hip distance apart. Not too much angle on that back foot. You want to have the back toes almost forward, maybe just slightly out to an angle so we don't torque the knee. And then you want to draw that top right hip back so the hips are square. Inhale, exhale, let the head come to the knee. You might notice a difference from one side to the other and how close your head might come to the knee. Inhale back up, and then we'll start to bend into the front knee and bring the arms up. So we're coming into a warrior three. Again, make any adjustments you need to. Maybe take a little more distance widthwise or lengthwise. Dropping that knee, pressing into that back foot. Abdominal strong. Inhale, exhale, the hands back down to the blocks. Take them again to the highest position. We'll walk them forward and then hop that back leg up. So you're again in your supported warrior three. Press through that heel. Shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, exhale. Squaring off the hips as much as you can. And this time, let's go ahead and take that back foot way back. Bring the hands to the mat on either side of the front foot. And then we'll bring that front leg to meet the back leg. So you're back in your plank. Hold it there. And then start to lower either with the knees up or the knees down. Bring the elbows in, shoulders back, slowly coming all the way down to the mat. Untuck the toes. Legs are together, pressing the pubic bones into the mat. And then from here, we'll start to come up to, in our cobra, maybe a little bit higher this time. Think of lengthening through the lower back. Inhale, exhale, and lower down. And then come back to hands and knees. Tuck the toes, and we're back in downward dog. Inhale, exhale. Let's deeply bend the knees. And again, either hop or walk your feet back to meet your hands. So we're in our forward fold. Inhale, exhale. This time we're going to come up either with the knees bent or the knees straight. Start with a flat back. Take the arms out to the side. Then using the strength of the abdominals, we'll just come to a standing position. Take the arms up. And inhale, hands together at the heart. From here, make sure your feet are about hip distance apart or a little closer. Again, coming into a chair pose, take the arms out, bring the hips back. Engaging through the abdominals. Let's bring the hands together, palms together at the heart. And then we're going to take the weight onto the right foot and start to lift that left foot. You can take your arms out to the side or keep them at your heart. So now we're balancing in our warrior three. And then slowly, if you can with control, we'll lower the back leg back and take the arms up to our crescent. So again, take any adjustments you need. Make sure the front knee is over the ankle. Back leg is straight. And then we're going to come back to warrior three. Inhale. Lift that back leg. Feel free to use the blocks here rather than balance. You can take your arms down. And then we'll come back to our crescent. And we'll just flow between those two at your own pace. Inhale. And exhale, come up with or without the blocks, warrior three. And then take it back, crescent lunge. And come up with or without the blocks. and take it down and come up. Strong through the abdominals. Take your time, find your balance. Take it back. Stay there this time. Inhale and then exhale, bring your hands down and we'll step the back foot up to meet the front foot. And shake the head out a little bit, relax the shoulders. From here, let's come to a flat back. Hands to shins. Inhale, exhale, take it down. Then inhale, we'll take the arms out and come all the way up. Arms up and bring the hands to your heart. Take a deep breath. Okay, let's come back to our chair. We'll do that on the other side. So take the arms up. Seat comes back, abdominals strong, dropping the shoulders. Inhale, then exhale, bring the hands to the heart. And we'll start to come into our warrior three by lifting the right leg or the one you didn't do. Now, lots of options here. You can keep the hands at your heart. You can take the blocks in front of you and use the blocks for support. So you're still strengthening the hips and the abdominals, hamstrings, or you can take your hands out to the side. Or you can even take them forward, which is the most difficult. Your choice. Inhale, exhale, let that back leg come back to your lunge, high lunge, arms up. And then we'll just, with the breath, inhale and exhale. Take your version of the pose. Inhale, you can take your hands to the block and lift that back leg. Going nice and slow with the breath at your own pace, coming back. Or you can take your arms out to the side. And take it down. Last time, let's take it up. Find your balance. So you can really square those hips, engage the abdominals, and take it down. Arms come up. Inhale and exhale. We'll move the blocks off to the side. Take the hands to either side of that front foot. Take the front foot to meet the back foot. Shift forward a little bit, and we'll lower down either with the knees up or the knees down all the way to the mat. And this time, take your hands alongside with your palms down, feet together, and pressing the legs into the mat, pubic bone into the mat. We'll just lift the upper body, shoulder blades away from are coming together, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale and exhale, lower down. We'll do that one more time, this time lifting the legs. Inhale, lift. And you can interlace the fingers, lift the shoulders a little bit, lift the chest a little bit higher, and lower down. Let's take the hands, palms down, just under the forehead, one on top of the other. And this time, bend the knees and separate the knees so the knees are at the edges of the mat and the toes are together. This is, I'm going to warn you, one of the most difficult for me to do. So we're going to try and lift the legs. You may not even be able to come off the mat at all, but it really works the muscles and the glutes and the piriformis. So see if you can, keeping the toes together, get a sense of lifting the thighs off the mat and lower down. That's a tough one, but it really works the butt muscles. Let's try that again. Inhale, lift. And lower. One last time, lift. And lower. So keep the legs where they are. We're going to take the hands and then walk them back under the shoulders. And just keeping the toes together, just push yourself back and we'll come right back into a child's pose. Wide-legged, arms in front. And feel that stretch. And walk the hands back up. We'll bring the knees together. And just come onto your hip and you can extend your legs forward in front of you. And take your feet to the mat. And we'll just slowly come to lie down on our backs. Seeing if you can come down as slowly as you can. And then we'll just take the hands that interlace the fingers behind the head. Just a little bit of ab work to finish up. So from here with the feet on the mat, we'll just inhale. And then as you exhale, we'll lift the head, keep the shoulders wide, engaging the abdominals, the head presses into the hands, and inhale, lower down. And exhale, lift, bringing navel to spine, and lower as you inhale. Exhale, lift, and inhale, lower. Exhale, lift, and inhale, lower. Last time, inhale, exhale, lift, hold it there, working the abdominals, and lower down. Good, let's extend the arms so your biceps are by your ears and your thumbs are to the floor, and we'll bring the knees up. And either with the knees bent or with the legs straight. If the knees are bent, we're just going to do some toe taps here. If your legs are straight, we're going to inhale to lower, exhale, lift. So option to keep your knees bent and just work here. Keeping that same angle. You're touching your toes, legs are together, or legs are straight with the bottoms of the feet toward the ceiling, and lift and lower. Whichever one you're doing, you're keeping the abdominals strongly engaged, pulling that navel to spine. And then go ahead and bend the knees, bring your arms around the knees, bring it in, and rotate the ankles. And go ahead and let's cross one knee over the other. Take your arms out to the side. Take your right leg over the left leg. And then we'll just move the hips slightly to the right and let the knees drop to the left for a twist. Letting that right shoulder blade drop toward the mat. See if you can release the holding in the legs. Just let them drop toward the mat or the floor. Option to take that left hand on the top of the outside of the right knee for a little extra traction. Gaze is toward the ceiling, or maybe gaze out toward your right arm. And then we'll re-extend both arms and bring the knees back up to center, uncross. Take the soles of both feet to the mat and just readjust the hips to the center of the mat. And then we'll take the left leg, cross it over the right, and shift the hips to the left a little bit. You can lift the knees and drop them over to the right. Arms are extended as the left shoulder blade drops toward the mat. Relaxing the knees, just allowing them to drop toward the floor. An option to take that right hand on the top outside of the left knee. See if you can really let go of any holding on that left glute, left outer thigh. And go ahead and re-extend both arms and bring the knees back up. And then last one, let's bring the knees toward the chest and we'll come into happy baby, bringing the elbows to the inside of the knees and then holding on to the outside of the feet. Maybe rock a little side to side, lengthening the spine by pressing the sacrum into the mat. And just let the knees drop toward the floor. And any last stretches you like to do, maybe hold on to the toes and extend the legs. And then we'll bring the knees back in, release the feet, and bring the soles of the feet back to the mat. And we'll start to come into our Shavasana by extending one leg out long and the other leg. Go ahead and close your eyes. And take a deeper breath. And exhale, releasing all the effort, all the tension. Maybe slightly parting the lips. Releasing all the holding of the facial muscles. And let your breath just come to its own natural rhythm, relaxing the belly. Start to deepen the breath. Maybe stretching out the fingers, pressing through the heels, find some movement. You can take your arms overhead, interlace the fingers, press the palms away. As you press the heels away for a full body stretch. And then as you exhale, bring one knee in and the other knee in. And we'll roll to one side, very nice and slowly, pushing yourself back up to a seated position. The legs crossed. You can keep the eyes closed for a minute as you bring the palms together at the heart. Drop the shoulders. I just love that moment right there, just feeling that complete relaxation and the result of the work. Take a moment to imprint that. Of course, take a moment for gratitude for the practice and yourself and this amazing work. And have a wonderful day. Namaste. And I will see you in after 3 more times. Yeah. Thank you.